Hello everybody and welcome to episode 12 of the Wild Eye Diaries. For those of you that don't yet know me, my name is Alistair and I'll be hosting this week's episode. As is customary of the onset of a busy safari season, it's been quite busy in the office of late. I've recently got back from back-to-back safaris, one of which was a privately guided safari to Morukuru in Madikwe, followed by the Timbavati photo safari hosted at Shinzela camp with Mike Laubscher, and Mike then went on to Madikwe Game Reserve where he hosted an unbelievable safari, as we'll find out later in the episode. Gerry's just got back from Borneo and Marlon's got one more week in the office before he heads off to Zambia for a privately guided safari. So quite a lot going on, as is customary in the Wild Eye office, never a dull moment, but let's not waste any more time. Like we've seen in the other episodes of the Wild Eye Diaries, you'll be hearing from each one of the guides, and we'll start off with Trevor. Trevor's been in the office for quite some time and he'll be hosting a digital photography course at the offices this weekend. So let's hear from Trevor.
Hello everybody, hope that you are enjoying this week's episode of Wild Eye Diaries. In this episode, I'm not going to discuss what I've been up to this week, but rather what I'm going to do on the weekend. And this weekend we've got a digital photography course. It's run once a month, and this is actually the first course that I'm hosting on my own, so very excited about it. I sat in on a course a couple months back with Mike and really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to hosting my very own one this weekend. The courses, we generally run one a month. They're on Saturdays and they run from about 9 o'clock in the morning to 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a very fun day out, whether you've been taking photographs for a while or you've never picked up a camera. There is something for everybody. Like I mentioned, it is a fun day. We do quite a bit of theory in the office here, learning about the basic settings, how to manipulate your camera, how the different settings work together with one another, and some composition guidelines, and just in general the basics about your camera. And hopefully after this day you will leave knowing a little bit more than you did when you arrived. There is also quite a bit of practical work involved. We do a number of short fun exercises around the office here where we pretty much take the theory that we've just learned and put it into practice to give you a better understanding of how it works, and also enabling you to manipulate your own camera and understand your own camera better, so that next time you're out in the field and you're on your own, you'll be able to make the necessary adjustments to get the desired result in your image. So very excited for this weekend. Looking forward to it, and I'll do a little bit more of an in-depth chat on the digital photography course in the next Wild Eye Diaries. But for now, that's it from me. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend and that you enjoy the rest of the Wild Eye Diaries.
Thanks Trev for your updates on the general happenings of the office and for the digital photography update that's happening this weekend. For those of you that have not heard of our digital photography course, it's for beginners, whether or not you've picked up a camera for the first time, or if you've just bought a digital camera for yourself, or for someone who's pretty well into their photography, be it wildlife or otherwise. The digital photography course is a great way, firstly, to get to understand and know your camera, and secondly, just to learn more about the art of digital photography with a wildlife focus, of course. If you haven't seen them, go and check them out. Go onto our website. It's a full day Saturday course, and I can guarantee whether or not you've picked up a camera for the first time or whether or not you pretty well used your camera, you will learn something new about digital and wildlife photography. So thanks for that, Trev. Next up we have Mike, who gives us an update from Madikwe. Mike and I hosted the Timbavati photo safari together last week, and Mike drove about 9 hours from the Timbavati area all the way across the country to almost the Botswanan border, to Madikwe Game Reserve, where he's hosted the most incredible week of safari alongside Grant Marcus, who is also a familiar face amongst the Wild Eye team. So between Grant and Mike, they've had an unbelievable week of sightings. So let me hand over to the two of them and they can explain how the week has gone.
Hello everyone, I am currently sitting in Madikwe Game Reserve at Nkuru Game Lodge, hosting a private guided safari. And this is night 6 of what is a 6-night stay, so sadly it's drawing to an end, but it has been absolutely spectacular. Firstly, the staff who work at this camp are just incredible, always friendly, always happy, always laughing, and they always go out of their way to make sure that the Wild Eye guests are having an incredible time. The lodge itself, spectacular, the rooms are amazing, the main area is great, and another cool thing about a safari at Nkuru Game Lodge is that we have exclusive use of the lodge. And what this means is that we will only be joined by the guests on the safari, and there won't be any other people that aren't part of the Wild Eye group in the lodge, which means you can leave all your cameras, your laptops, all your gear, anything you really wish not to carry through to the room and back every day in the main area, and it's perfectly safe, which is amazing. There's a watering hole, so where I'm sitting right now, just to my left, and it is extremely productive, particularly for the drier parts of the year. Animals are drawn into the watering holes and they often come in to drink. And throughout our past 5 or 6 days here this far, we've had elephants come in, we've had rhino come in, buffalo, plains game like your zebra, giraffe, impala, everything just comes into this watering hole. So while you're having breakfast or lunch, you get blessed with a sighting of a massive herd of elephants. And yeah, a really special place, and a place that I always enjoy getting back to. Prior to visiting Madikwe Game Reserve, it was probably just over a year ago, I had never travelled to this reserve before, and I always used to belittle the place, thinking that it is not a place I would enjoy. It's not a place worthwhile going to. And in all honesty, this place is incredible. And every time I return, I just cannot wait to get back. And every time I do return, the sightings become more spectacular. It is just a mind-blowing destination. But what I've decided to do is I'm going to hand over to Grant, who manages this particular lodge alongside his wife, Monique. And for a lot of you in the Wild Eye community, particularly joining us in the Masai Mara during the Great Migration, some of you would have met Grant, and yeah, this is what he has to say about this particular reserve, this particular lodge, and yeah, it's going to be some pretty worthwhile information, as he's been working here for many years. So over to Grant.
Hi everybody, my name is Grant, and I'm co-hosting this Wild Eye photographic safari with Mike, and we're almost at the end of it. We've got one more day left, and then sadly they're all going back to Joburg. And yes, what a week we had. The sightings were just off the charts, unbelievable. So I've been working and guiding in Madikwe for about 11-12 years now, and I've been very fortunate enough and lucky enough to be able to share it with my lovely wife Monique. We've been going through this journey together for the last 16-17 years in the industry, and we've been at Nkuru for the last 6 years. It's a corporate lodge inside Madikwe, only sleeps 10 people, very small, intimate. It's a corporate lodge, so we have a few shareholders that owns the property, and we see them a few times a year. And one of my very good friends, Gerry van der Walt, he worked at Nkuru as well before Wild Eye was born. And in fact, Wild Eye was actually born at Nkuru itself with Gerry, Jono and Andrew Beck. So from there on in, when Gerry left, we came for the interview at Nkuru. We got lucky enough to get the position, and yeah, we're still here. And I kept in contact with Gerry and the team, and I've been fortunate enough to co-host some of the Wild Eye photographic safaris in the migration, and also other destinations in South Africa like Kruger. So Gerry and the team, they decided quite a few years back to send guests to Nkuru. Because we're a private lodge, we only sleep 10, private vehicle, there's no other people around. So if you book a photographic safari at Nkuru, it's a group of 6 people, the vehicle is not overcrowded, the lodge is not overcrowded, and it's basically, it's like you're coming home. and it's very flexible as well, which makes a huge difference in your safari experience. So what I mean by that is you are not fixed to times. You have to be back at 9 o'clock for breakfast, we have to be back at 6:30 for dinner. No, if there's something happening out in the field, we spend the time necessary to make sure that the guests get the shot, and that's what's been happening the last week as well. The sightings have been completely off the charts. So the guests arrived on Friday. Most of them flew in from Johannesburg. I went to fetch one couple on the airstrip, and everybody had a lovely lunch, got back, went on safari at 3:30 in the afternoon, and the plans was to go and find the Northwestern Pride, and they've got four small tiny little lion cubs, and we got lucky. We found them, spent some quality time with them, had a fantastic sighting, and then Mike arrived in the evening after dinner. He had a long haul from Timbavati, so Mike drove in safely, checked in, and next morning was a go-go, and the safari officially kicked off on Saturday morning with Mike on board as well, and the sightings have just been every day brilliant, and every day we think, okay, what's gonna beat this morning or this afternoon? And let me tell you, we've been very, very, very lucky. We drove to Cladam one morning after breakfast. We had a morning safari, got back at about 9:30, 10, and I told the guests, listen, it's this time of year, the dams are full, it's nice and warm in the day, let's go out and sit at one of the waterholes and see if we can get any elephant action. Oh my word, did we get elephant action? During that, I think we sat there for about 2 hours. We had just around 350 elephants coming and going, swimming, fighting, playing, just giving everybody the opportunity to get every single elephant shot that you can think of, scenario, interaction. It was incredible. Yeah. After the dam, we left, and we knew the cheetah were in the north, so we went to look for them, found them, got lucky, had incredible cheetah sighting, cheetahs halfway up a tree, interacting, scent marking, and then we came back to the lodge, thinking that, okay, well, what's going to beat that? Went on afternoon safari, didn't see a hell of a lot, but had a fantastic sunset, almost said sunrise. Yeah, so next morning went out again in the search of lion, and yeah, it was just every day it's been so good. We did find the lions eventually in the morning, just before the light got too harsh. It was three lions, 2 males and a female. They were in tall grass, and we thought, oh well, not a lot of photographic opportunities there, but we're gonna sit it out and see what happens. And they got up, they walked through the long grass, had mountains as a backdrop, and just the guests got incredible footage and images. And that's the thing with Madikwe. Everybody thought many years ago, when I first started in the park and photographic safaris started to become quite a big thing in the tourism sector and safari sector, everybody thought that Madikwe is not a great photographic destination. Why? Because of all the sickle bush. Yes, we've got a lot of sickle bush. We've got a lot of fallen over trees due to our elephant population, but it's a great destination for photography, and we've proven it over and over. And you can look at the images that our guests on this week got during the safari. We've seen 3 different leopard, cheetah, lion, amazing elephant interaction, general game every day, rhino, you name it, and also incredible sighting of a black rhino. Madikwe is one of the few places where you can actually have great black rhino sightings. So it was an incredible week, and you guys can really look at the Wild Eye website and look at the itinerary for the Madikwe safari. You won't regret it. It is a great experience. And also, like 2 nights ago, sitting at Clodam for the sunset, photograph rhino with the sunset, elephants in the sunset, And also, we had great laughs. You've got to come on safari and have fun. You've got to have fun on safari. So it was a fun week and great week, incredible. So I'm going to hand over to Mike now. Great chatting to you, and I hope to see you guys soon in Madikwe. Have a good one.
Thank you so much for that, Grant. Some very accurate information, and I can say with no doubt in my mind that I totally agree with you. And for all of you listening to this, the information that Grant just provided is probably some of the best you would hear about this particular reserve. Grant is extremely passionate about what he does, this reserve and this lodge, and I'm sure he is just as excited as I am to hosting you on a Madikwe safari someday soon. I hope you enjoy this episode of the Wild Eye Diaries, and yes, have a lovely day further. Cheers for now.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks, Grant, for sharing an incredible update on what was quite obviously an amazing safari. As everyone has seen, they saw wild dogs, they saw cheetah, they saw lion, they saw leopard, white rhino, black rhino, and elephant. I mean, they really ticked all the boxes. Not only did they tick all the boxes in terms of the species that they saw, but the quality of the sightings that they had was something truly sensational. So well done to the both of you guys on an incredible safari. I'm sure the guests left very, very happy, and I'm sure they got a bunch of sensational images. So thanks for that, guys. Next up we have Johan, and Johan talks about a personal photographic journey of his. Like all of us are in the Wild Eye office, we continue to be on our own photographic journeys. Likewise are our guests that come on safari with us. So Johan will share with us his own photographic journey. So let's hear from Johan.
Hello everybody. Okay, so for this week I wanted to share something with you guys, and it's my photographic journey thus far. And I think it's important because a lot of people see what we're doing now and don't realize the sort of road that we've taken and the mistakes that we've made along the way. And the reason why this came up is on Facebook you get these pop-ups or reminders of things that happened in the past. And lately I've had quite a few that have popped up from some of the first images that I've ever taken, and I was absolutely shocked to see these images, and I'm very embarrassed to show these to you guys. But I think it's important to show you guys that we also traveled that journey of sort of learning how to use our cameras, making those mistakes, over processing images out of focus, you name it, we've been there. And I think that is why we are so passionate about doing what we're doing now, is because we know how great that feeling is when everything starts making sense, when you see your images improving. So for me it started about 10 years ago when I was guiding in Madikwe, and like all the other wild eye guides, we had the opportunity of being out in the field every single day, so lots of photographic opportunities. And that's one of the reasons I mentioned that is, don't compare the images that you have now with other people's images. A lot of these guys, including ourselves, are in the field more than 100 days a year in some of the prime wildlife viewing areas. So the opportunities to photograph are so much more. You can rather maybe sort of focus on what is in your area and do that as best you can, whether it be in your garden photographing your dogs or cats or kids, and really sort of practice from that point of view. But I urge you guys not to compare your images to what you're seeing online. So fast forward a little bit, over my time in Madikwe, I had two mentors that helped me a lot with my photographic journey, which they gave me harsh feedback. Sometimes I didn't always want to hear it, but that is something that I think is vitally important in your photographic journey. If you guys want good, honest feedback, send your images to someone whose opinion you value or appreciate or respect, or to any of us. You know, if you want good, honest feedback, then send it through to us, and we'll give that to you. Obviously, the first prize would be if you're on safari with us. It gives us so much so much more help being with you in the field, helping you get the settings right in camera, and then also your post-processing. But there is obviously a price tag to that, which not everyone can afford. So if there's any way we can help you guys with your images, please send them through and we'll give you that feedback that is required. And then over time, I think at that stage when I was guiding in Madikwe, there wasn't really much in terms of sort of blogs and things to read up about. So a lot of it was trial and error, using different modes, seeing the different results that you get. And by that way, I eventually started learning the different modes of photography and what I wanted to achieve. And also looking at different images, and whether it be in books. Nowadays there's so much online, whether it be on Instagram, websites, you can really sort of look up a lot of images and get an idea of what images really speak to you, and then almost try and recreate or give your take on those particular images. So for me in this episode, I urge you guys to do two things. Firstly, not compare your images to what you see online, but rather working towards certain goals that you might have, and try and improve those, whether it be every week or every month or every time you go out in the field. Try and improve your images. Go and read up on the blogs that we've done. There's a lot of blogs now, from shutter speeds to apertures, you name it. Go and read up about those things, put in the hard work. We've also got a lot of videos on YouTube now from Lightroom. Andrew's done that behind the frame series. Gerry's done quite a few Lightroom tutorials. So go and read up on that, and then if there's anything that that you guys still want us to share with you guys, then please let us know. Send us an email, or on Instagram send us a direct message and let us know what it is that you guys are struggling with. So that's, at the end of the day, that's why we do what we do, is to help you guys improve your photography, and it is very rewarding for us when we see you guys create amazing images. And then the second thing is, get someone who you really trust or whose opinion you value to give you good, honest feedback on your images. As much as you don't want to hear it now, it will help you in the long run. Okay guys, that's it from my side. If you guys have any questions, please give us a shout. I'm off on safari on Tuesday, heading to Tswalu for a privately guided trip. Really much looking forward to that, and I'll catch up with you guys next week from the field. Until then, cheers, have a good one.
Thank you, Johan, for sharing your personal photographic journey with us. I think you've touched on a few very important points. One of which is that criticism, although it may seem harsh at times, is actually probably the best way for you to improve on your own photographic journey. That is really, really crucial. And like you said, get criticism from those around you, those closest to you, but it is really important for others to give you their opinion on your own photography. I found that with myself in the Wild Eye office, sitting next to the likes of Marlon, Andrew Beck, Gerry, etc. Having those guys who've been in the industry for a lot longer than I have critique a lot of my images, particularly from a post-processing and editing perspective, has really helped me develop my photography. And of course, we are all on our own photographic journey, particularly those guests that come on safari with us. I've had examples of guests that are too ashamed to share their images, not only with other guests on the safari, but with the Wild Eye guide as well. And that is really unnecessary. It's so important to understand that we each on our own photographic journey, and that we need to be proud of where we are on that particular journey, and be realistic about where we are and where we'd like to get to, which is really important. So thanks, Johan, for sharing that with us. Next up is Marlon, and Marlon is heading away this weekend, and so he shares with us exactly where he'll be going. And then of course he has one last week in the Wild Eye offices before he starts to travel once again, and he'll be heading to Zambia on a privately guided safari. So Marlon shares some insights about what to expect for that Zambian safari as well. So let's hear from Marlon.
Hey everyone, tomorrow I leave for Cape Town, which is pretty exciting. It is, apart from a little family vacation, exciting news in my wife's family is that their brother are expecting another baby and due any day. So maybe we get lucky and be there for a very special moment and time in their family. And then next week I leave for South Luangwa, another exciting safari lying ahead, and my first in a couple of months. I've been in the office for a little while, but getting a lot of good things done, including the last few weeks working on a lot of exciting new safaris for next year. Safaris in South Africa specifically and in the greater Kruger region, and you'll hear more about that soon. But for now, enjoy the rest of the diaries. I'm sure there's some exciting things for you to have a look at, and I'll check in with you again next week. Goodbye.
Thanks, Marlon, for sharing those updates with us. I look forward to welcoming you back into the office after your private guided safari to Zambia, and specifically to see your videos and pictures from that experience. Next up, we have Gerry, who has recently returned from, by all accounts, an incredible safari to Borneo. And apart from battling blood-sucking leeches, it sounded like a truly once-in-a-lifetime experience. So let me not waste any more of Gerry's limelight. Let's let him get right into the details of what him and his guests experienced in Borneo. Let's hear from Gerry.
Hey, morning everybody. So I've been a little bit absent on the diaries the last while. I've been traveling quite a bit, and also as I'm sitting here now, as soon as I'm finished talking to you guys, I'm going to start packing my bag, which thank goodness is out of sight. It's just behind the camera that's a mess. I'm off to Svalbard tomorrow, and it's been an interesting couple of weeks, I can tell you that. So when I'm back from Svalbard, I'm going to be sharing a whole lot more on Borneo. I've done one blog post, you can see that on the website, and I put up one vlog called, what was it called? Tracking a GoPro and a leech. So I wanted, in this segment today, I wanted to share two more experiences from Borneo, which must be in the top 3, both of these. And also just talk about the vlogs a little bit. So you would have seen that some of the guys have started doing vlogs. I'm on number 7 now, and it's just a different avenue for us to share with you guys. It's kind of a personal reality show of what we do, for lack of a better term. So where you can find those is on the YouTube channel. Each of the guys now have a playlist, and those that are doing the vlogs are loading them there. So it's a bit of fun, and it's a different way to give you guys a more personal kind of look at who we are, what we do, the experiences, and so on. So I've put together 2 little segments for you of the Borneo trip. The first is of a sunrise we went to watch over the Dunham Valley, and the second is a canopy walk that we also did in Dunham. So just a quick recap here. The trip ran for 10 days. I had 6 guests, and we went to 4 main areas. They were Sepilok, Kinabatangan River, then we went to Tabin Wildlife Resort, and then we finished in the Dunham Valley. Each of those are super unique, and they offer very different activities. We did everything from boat ride in Kinabatangan to canopy walks and proper jungle tracks in Dunham. Look at episode 7 of the vlog. And then in Tabin is mostly game drives, evening walks. So the diversity is phenomenal. I will still get a full trip report, trip video out as soon as I'm back from Svalbard. Time's a bit of a luxury right now. But for now, just 2 short segments to give you an idea of what we had. The first one here is in the Dunham Valley. We woke up at 3:30. We went probably about an hour drive from the lodge, and you go up on a little hill which looks down over the valley. And every single morning year-round, the valley is filled with mist. The sun rises and the mist starts going. It is absolutely spectacular. So here's just a short little vlog style look at sunrise over Dunham Valley. It's 3:56. I'm already showered. I'm wearing my lead shocks because we're heading out super early today. Going about an hour from the lodge up a hill to watch sunrise. Here we go. 1 or 2, eh?
Here?
Yeah.
Ah.
And at Kinabatangan.
And Kinabatangan.
It's got some layers to it.
So start from 0, and then from there it's going to go 0, -3, +3, and then combine them. So as you can see, pretty amazing. And one of the clients had a drone there. So it's one of the few places where you can still fly drones as long as you stay high up and so on. And the imagery is spectacular. I'm going to be sharing some of that when I'm back from Svalbard. But Dunham Valley, the sunrise in the morning, incredible. Now, for those of you that have seen Star Wars, I think I mentioned this in one of my podcasts. In episode 6, the original 3, the last one, episode 6, at the end of the movie, they have like a party where they destroy the Empire and what. And they go to the Ewoks village, those little bare little things. And it's in the trees. And they've got these walkways and kind of stilts and stuff built around the trees. That is what I felt like when we went to the canopy walk in Dunham. It's from the lodge, which is, it's a spectacular lodge, kind of rivals Singita and Londolozi from a look and feel point of view. Beautiful. Where was I? It's early morning. You see, I'm still having my coffee while I'm speaking to you guys. So we walked from the lodge, about a half an hour walk. You take this canopy up, and there's 7 walkways. You'll see this now on the next segment. 7 kind of canopy walkway bridges that connects to these big trees. Now, these trees are, I kid you not, about 80, 90 meters. It is absolutely ridiculous. And then they connect there. There's these little platforms. You go upstairs around the tree, and then you go to the next one, and you keep on walking through the canopies. It is spectacular. Now, like I mentioned in this next little video, we are there for wildlife. We're a wildlife photography company. That particular morning, we saw a couple of birds, none wildlife, until afterwards we saw some orangutan. But not one person was disappointed, and it rates as one of the highlights of the trip. It is truly, truly special, and I'm going to steal a quote from one of my guests here. It's the kind of experience and place that makes you realize that the dream is real. It is absolutely stunning. So again, vlog style, check out our canopy walk in Dunham.
You can put it on zero.
Because there's red-leaf langurs.
Yeah, make it all look nice again. Okay, morning walk time, heading up to the canopy, which is this string of connected bridges through the top of the trees. See how that goes. Canopy walk, going through the forest up there. Well, this shit you feel in your stomach going down. My goodness. Fucking going up's easy.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Even though we're here for wildlife, we've seen good birds this morning. Not one person has even looked for wildlife. It just overwhelms you. Spectacular. Seriously, that's sick. We're going higher and higher here. I'm not one to suffer from vertigo or anything. You feel this in your stomach big time. Oh man, it just keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's sort of, you think it's the best, then you go one further and go, oh wow, huh?
Okay, that's about as good a morning as you'll find on an expedition or safari, but now coffee and breakfast. It's been great.
Okay, so there you have it. I mean, I'm sure you can get an idea of the beautiful... The word I've been using whenever it asks me how Borneo is overwhelming. And it makes you feel small, but in a good way. It is just spectacular. So, trip for next year is ready to go. It's going to be on the website later today. Just email me if you have any questions. I'll put it down here for you. But when I'm back, I'm going to be sharing 2 or 3 more vlogs, like that kind of style like you saw now, on the YouTube channel. And hopefully on the diaries, I'll put together a full trip report and like an interview with one of the guys like we've done in the past. It was spectacular. It kind of... Svalbard, when I saw it the first time, blew my mind. This was the same. It is just... You struggle to comprehend it. It is that spectacular. So, next week for the diaries, I'm probably... And I'm going to try this now. I'm in Longyearbyen in up in Svalbard. So I'm going to try and get you guys, I'm there for 2 nights, a short little vlog style update for the diaries next week. I should have internet to send it to the guys. The week after that, I'm still up there, so I'm not sure what I'm going to give you then, because I don't have internet. I'm on a boat in the Arctic, close to the North Pole. So I will catch you guys whenever I'm back. However, keep following on Instagram. I'll be sharing on my Instagram story and Snapchat all the way through until I get on the boat when the signal disappears. And just to give you guys a taste of what it is like. Anyway, it's great to be back. Well, for now at least. I'm off again tomorrow. And I look forward to chatting to you guys in the next episode when I'm back. My name is Gerry. I'm from Wild Eye. Have a good one.
Thanks, Gerry, for that awesome account on what the safari was like in Borneo. Really, really incredible. For those of you that haven't followed Gerry, go and have a look at the vlog that he put together from his trip to Borneo. And I'm sure that there'll be a trip report coming out in the coming weeks as well. We won't be hearing from Andrew this week. Andrew's been really busy in the office, dealing with a lot of the back-end administration stuff. Basically everything that's important to ensure that the safaris run as smoothly as they do. It's really important that our back-end systems are operational to ensure that our safaris run top-notch. And so unfortunately Andrew's been quite busy and we won't get a video out of Andrew this week, but we certainly will be hearing from him next week. So that's it for episode 12 of the Wild Eye Diaries, guys. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for listening once again. And as always, each of us guys in the office appreciate your constant engagement, your likes, your comments, your emails, etc. We pride ourselves in getting back to every single one of you. So thank you for your constant engagement. That's what keeps us running. So until next time, thanks very much and thanks for listening. Cheers. Bye.